What's up everybody, Corey with Freaky Tech Reviews here, and I am excited to bring you video 2 of my CES coverage. Now this video is going to be all about content creation gear that I came across at CES. There's a ton of gear that I'm sure that I missed while there, so I've got 3 really cool booths to show you, and then some honorable mentions, so let's dive right in. Okay, so CES was less than 2 weeks ago, an amazing event, over 140,000 people, and I'm just now getting through some of my content for it because I got the flu on the way home and it put me down for a week. So I'm a little behind to getting stuff going, but I'm really excited to share some stuff with you. Now, before we get started with some of the companies, I do want to do a quick shout out to ScottyMakesStuff.com. This is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 carrying case. I got so many comments and questions about what the heck this thing is while I was there, because essentially it's a 3D printed case for your DJI Osmo Pocket 3. People were going wild over this thing. The Osmo Pocket 3 was already one of the more popular camera setups that I saw at CES, but nobody had this right here. So I will be reviewing this entire rig and setup right here from ScottyMakesStuff.com. They do not know that I'm shouting them out in this video, but this is an excellent product that'll be on the channel soon, so stay tuned. Okay, first up, my eyes lit up when I saw the Neewer booth. If you don't know anything about Neewer, it is an awesome and budget-friendly company that is great for content creators who are starting out, and there kind of seemed to be a theme with Neewer and a lot of the other content creation gear I'm going to talk about today with how big mobile content creation is going to be. So I'm going to show you a quick walkthrough that I did at Neewer's booth. You may recognize them from the 5th video on this channel where I reviewed the DL200 camera dolly. Absolutely love that camera dolly. They have the DL400 and it is perfect. So let's dive into my walkthrough of the Neewer booth. What's up everybody? Okay, so we are at the Neewer booth right now, and for anyone on the channel who likes the content creation side of Freaky Tech Reviews, I'm going to show you some of the cool stuff that Neewer has. Now, if you've been a fan of Freaky Tech Reviews for a while, then you'll know that one of my first videos that got a lot of traction was the camera dolly. Now, Neewer has a much larger version. Look at the size of this thing. It has a payload capacity of 6.6 pounds, but this one's different because it's not on a 3-wheel setup, so it can't tip over. And that first one I had, the DL200, would constantly tip in one direction if your camera was pointed there. But with this one being so big, it can turn not only both ways, because it turns both ways like this instead of just one direction, but also it cannot tip. I really am hoping to check this out and bring it to the channel pretty soon, because this is a really awesome thing that I think Neewer is doing. For any of you that instead of getting a slider would like to have a tabletop slider functionality, and then it has these all-terrain tires, which a lot of people that watch that video realize that the tires are too small to actually get like any type of traction outside of a very smooth studio setting. So with these tires, you're going to be able to actually take this thing outside and actually get some really cool shots in that regard. Now, Neewer's got a lot of really cool stuff coming out. It's got some travel tripods here, has a lot of really great lighting here. And then if you follow me over here, this is something that we're seeing a lot of at CES right now, are the different mobile accessories. So now they have actual phone cases that have lenses that you can put on them for people who want to have, like, check these lenses out right here. Some of these giant lenses, some are telescopic, some are macro, some are wide angle, and then you have this probe lens right here that can actually work on your smartphone that goes, look at that, 17mm probe lens for the smartphone. That is one of the coolest things that Neewer is doing currently, because so not only do they have really good lighting setups for you, but they also have really awesome just mobile setups so that you can create content whether you have a big budget or a smaller budget. That's what's great about Neewer. Also, there's a lot of cool stuff here, but I want to show you the probe lens in action. Look at this. So this probe lens on a mobile setup, look at that. It's going right through this cathedral right here. And then if we look at it on the monitor up here, you'll see just the quality that this lens provides from a phone setting, from a mobile setup. Look what we were able to get. So really cool stuff from Neewer, and I just wanted to highlight it really quick. Okay, so that was Neewer. Absolutely loved what they brought to the table. I'm already talking to them about reviewing a couple of the things that they had at their booth, including the camera dolly and some of the mobile gear that they had there at their booth. So I'm really excited to partner with them. That's a big partnership for me coming back from CES, so stay tuned for seeing some of those videos come out. Now, the next up is one where I saw their product actually earlier in 2024. I think it's a fantastic product for a small content creator studio, and it's the HOVERAir drone. Now, they actually had a full, really awesome booth there, and I didn't get a ton of footage footage from it, but I'll showcase what I did manage to see while I was there. Essentially what it is it's a pocket-sized fold-out drone. Super simple, but it shoots up to 8K. This thing is insanely powerful for its size. It's under 250 grams. I think it's even under 200 grams, so you can fly it anywhere, and it's all controlled with your hands, so you don't need an actual separate remote controller with it. And what's even better is that I have partnered with HOVERAir, and they're actually sending one to the channel to review, which I'm really excited about because I plan to not only review their Pro Max drone, but also compare it to DJI's new Flip drone, which is a very similar setup. But even if you're not an entry-level content creator, these HOVERAir drones are really, really cool because they cover such a wide spectrum of drone needs. Now, high winds, absolutely not. They're not going to do well there, and for like real estate shots and some of the really detailed shots that you need to get with a controller, you just can't do that without manually controlling the aircraft by yourself. So maybe not the best setup in that regard, but definitely stay tuned for this video because the HOVERAir is going to be a really awesome thing to check out. Now, the next booth is one that I got a full demonstration of that I'm about to show you the video of, and it's a company called Tilta. They have their Khronos ecosystem for mobile content creation. This stuff is a little pricey, but when you feel it in person and how well made it is, and the CNC machined metal phone case and accessories, this is a really top-notch product that I'm excited to see come to the market. I am talking to them about potentially reviewing some of their stuff, which I'm excited about, but I'm going to show you a full breakdown of the Khronos ecosystem by Tilta and one long interview video I did with their rep on site at CES. So check this out.
All right, so today we are taking a look at the Khronos ecosystem by Tilta. My name is Nick. I'm going to be going over this phone case / camera cage for the iPhone 16, also available for the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. So to start, the base version of it is just a normal camera cage. We do have a pretty sleek MagSafe backplate on the back, which is detachable. A couple functions on here. You got a finger strap, kickstand, small utility knife that pops out, as well as a flathead for any kind of tripod connections, or also a ruler on the back. So I can hand you that if you want to take a look at it. The case itself, you'll notice there are a few different contact points. So at its simplest form, this is a case that's going to make it very simple to attach accessories in order to make this better for video and film production. So we use a kind of quick release prong system. You engage the button. All you got to do is kind of slide it in. It grabs on, you have a loose but secure connection, and then you further secure it by locking it down. So whether it's just needing to get some handles on the side of your camera to improve stability, this would be kind of like the most simple version. These rotate. You have a few different options for how you can orient them. So this would be a look at kind of like a mechanical setup, just if you're doing some kind of fast action, you need to have a solid grip, but maybe you don't want to be, touching the screen of the camera itself. So if you want to grab that.
How those loosen up and you can slide it.
Yeah, so you can put them on the top, turn them into top handles. You can kind of put it in different positions, so it supports vertical and horizontal setups depending on how you're shooting. So that would be kind of like the base. This is going to be an example of a more complicated setup. One of the main kind of unique selling points of this system is that outside of just the contacts for accessories, we also have electronics running through the cage itself. So this is our power focus handle, which is going to power both the camera, or both the phone and the case through these contact pins. So same connection point, just snaps on. There's a small lock on the back, and now any one of these contact points is going to get power from the handle. So we have this small LED light. We can just snap that into place, and now we can power that without needing to run any extra cables. With the smaller form factor of the phone, once you start adding different cables on, it definitely makes it a bit more cluttered. So this allows you to attach separate items. We'll wait 1 second for the music, but allows you to attach different items without needing to worry about how your cable management is. Something that's kind of useful in terms of power. So we make this small cooling module. Same thing, it has contact pins on the back, and then it snaps right into the cage via MagSafe. So you have the option to cool your phone if you're shooting in the desert, or what a lot of people do is they'll set these as wides and they'll kind of just leave them, maybe running for an hour or so, and the phone can get kind of hot, especially if you're shooting, some higher resolution. So this will help keep it cool, but then also you redirect the power from the handle back into the phone via MagSafe. So if your only USB is being used for an external hard drive, you don't need to use a splitter in order to, record externally and keep the phone powered. This will give you roughly 6 to 8 hours of extra battery battery. And we do make a splitter if you do need, two USB-Cs as well as HDMI. So we have options, but the idea is that you can kind of build this up, as small or as big as you need to. The pieces all connect and detach relatively quickly. So if you need to kind of break that fully down, you can have it back to a normal size within, a pretty quick amount of time. And then lastly, I think the kind of big thing that a lot of our users are looking for, coming from the more traditional camera world, is their clients kind of expect a certain size of camera or just like professional look. So if you are using an iPhone, even if it's just for a specific type of shot or a social media shoot or something that best calls for an iPhone, it might still look a little strange if someone's paying you, to show up and just kind of film something with your phone. So I think this does give it a little bit more of a professional look, and is something that can make people more confident when they're shooting that it's the right tool for the job. So we have a lot of different kind of mechanical accessories as well. If you're trying to integrate with existing film equipment like NATO, quarter 20, cold shoe, all of our kind of tripod connection points use Arca, so it's compatible with DJI gimbals, a lot of our tripods, a lot of our equipment that we make for other cameras. The idea is that if you're already a Tilta user, these can kind of integrate fully into what you're already doing. So that's kind of the main, talking points of the case. There are a lot of kind of fun, creative ways we've seen people rig this, and main kind of idea is it's expanding the video possibility. Like I said, this does control focus and zoom via Bluetooth through the Blackmagic app, so definitely something that not any other manufacturers are doing at the moment. And just having that focus control, not relying on autofocus, definitely can be a helpful option.
Okay, so that is the Khronos ecosystem by Tilta. Mobile content creation is about to explode. It is really already doing so right now, but when you see some of these companies that are not just making like cheap add-on phone cases and accessories to film things with your phone, but full-on rigs, that's when you know things are starting to get serious. And one of Tilta's biggest ideas behind this ecosystem was so that if you show up with your phone to film, people don't look at you and think, okay, is this an actual videographer? No, you have a full rig and it's really nice. So really excited to check some of their stuff out. Hopefully we get to partner soon. One quick honorable mention I want to share is the Govee booth. This is a really neat booth, but they had a couple of new products that I thought were really awesome, and I definitely want to bring one to the studio. One of them is a either vertical or horizontal light bar that is floor to ceiling or wall to wall. It's essentially just an RGB strip on a really long tube that actually mounts to your ceiling or your wall. It's a really cool product that I'd actually love to put right here behind Michael in the corner. I think it would really light up that corner, or even one that would go like over the top of my desk. I think it would provide like a nice RGB lighting on my back and shoulders. I'm always thinking about how to improve my lighting and make it better, and I think that some of the Govee products that they have, I'm already a big fan of their company. I think they got some really cool stuff that could help with that as well. Another company that I am excited to partner with soon, and I actually have one of their products headed my way, and I'm not going to tell you which one just yet, but it's a company called Hohem. Now, Hohem makes a lot of really cool AI gimbals. Now, what makes them AI? It's because they have this little sensor that attaches onto their gimbal that has all sorts of smart functionality on following you or whatever the subject actually is. And I'm going to do a much deeper dive into their products when I actually review something that they're sending me, but they have these extendable gimbals for either your phone or your camera. They're extremely lightweight, and they've got a ton of functionality. Hohem's going to be one of the companies on the market you're definitely going to want to pay attention to if you're looking for budget gimbals. Now, I did just review the UGREEN gimbal, and that's a great budget starting gimbal. I think Hohem's going to really kind of take the cake on this one. Some of the stuff they have coming to the market is going to be really cool for entry-level content creators. So definitely keep an eye out there. But they also have one product that's actually not even releasing yet, and it does not have a time frame for when they're going to actually let it out of its cave, I guess. But basically what it is, it's a little gimbal camera that's on this little pod. And so I have some footage of it, but there's not really a ton of specs about it. There's not a ton of information. You can't find it on their website. They unveiled it at CES with no time frame as when it's going to go live, but essentially it's going to compete with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 as a little mini gimbal camera. Now, I love the Pocket 3. That's why I brought it to CES. It is by far the most popular content creation tool whenever you need to film things outside of the studio. So it'll be interesting to see how it compares, because this is such a market dominating product. But Hohem's got something cool that's going to be coming out. So when that thing does come out, I hope to partner with them now that we've already established a relationship at CES. CES so that I can bring it to the channel to review as well. Now, another booth that might actually kind of surprise you is actually UGREEN. UGREEN is known for chargers and batteries and things like that, and I'm actually going to feature them in my next video where I talk specifically about the amount of charging and battery presence, because Anker's got some really cool stuff coming out, as well as Basis. But that UGREEN actually has their storage drives, which I am really excited to bring to the channel because it is the most affordable NAS type storage system that you can get on the market right now. They even have AI ones, which I don't even know how the AI works yet because everything there was new and just starting to unveil. So I'm going to hold off on talking knowledgeably about that. But their NAS drive that they had that I would like to check out actually holds 4 different hard drives with up to 24 terabytes of data, and it does it all for like 550 bucks. That is such a cheap way to actually store your data. And through their app access, you can access it outside of your local network, which is also a really big deal. So if you're out on the go, you need to get some of your footage to you, you have the option to do that. So hopefully I'll be able to bring one of those things from UGREEN to the channel to review, because I've been doing YouTube for 5 years now, 2 years on this tech channel, and the footage is starting to stack up, right? Like, I'm starting to really run out of memory, and 24 terabytes would be really nice to have. So shout out to UGREEN for having some really cool storage solutions for such a budget-friendly price. So that's going to be the key thing you're going to see about a lot of the CES content creation gear that I came across. So much of it is budget-friendly. So that is actually it for my video for content creation gear. Now, there were a ton of really cool stuff. The Insta360 had their own booth. There were a ton of different other types of gimbals and cameras and all kinds of stuff. It's just, when I was walking through, it was what I thought was interesting and what I wanted you to know about. And so these are the ones where I thought these are the coolest things to take a look at. So I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think this content creation gear is worth it? Was there anything you heard about at CES that maybe I missed? Because there's just too much to cover for one person. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I really appreciate you taking some time to be here with me today. Again, I'm Corey with Freaky Tech Reviews. I'll see you next time. So real quick before you go, YouTube thinks that you might like this video or this video. So if you want to keep exploring the channel, then be sure to check those out. Have a good one.